Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, I've been reading a couple of these stories about this racist girl at the University of Alabama making a racist rant, and I want to take some time to talk about it. For those of you who haven't seen the video, I'll post a link to the Young Turks video where they include clips of her rants so that you can watch them for yourself. But she did this one video where she's in a bathroom posing in front of the mirror at a faucet. She cuts the faucet on and then she turns the faucet off. And she's talking about the need to preserve water and this and that. But then she goes on to say, I love how I act like I love black people because I fucking hate niggers. That's how she says it. And then she goes on to say, I just saved niggers by shutting the water off. And then after she did that video, she came under attack. A lot of people scrutinized her, obviously, for using a racial slur against black people. And then she went on to do another video where she's all in front of the camera. She's all belligerent. And this is what she says. She says, if someone's offended because I say nigger, then she went on to say nigger, nigger, nigger. And then she said, I don't care if it's Martin Luther King Day, nigger, nigger, nigger. I'm from New Jersey, so I can say nigger as much as I want. And she talks about how she's in the South, and that basically gives her a license to use the N word. And then she goes on to say nigger, 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 F you, and all this and that, throwing up the bird in the camera. And that video went viral. A lot of people have been talking about it. And in response, the University of Alabama says that she's no longer enrolled. Also, she was kicked out of her sorority. I think it's Alpha Phi. She was kicked out of that sorority. And after she was kicked out of the university and the sorority, she issued some fake apology talking about she feels horrible and she's sorry and blah, blah, blah. So I just want to talk about this. I mean, that apology is fake as hell because she already talked about and bragged about how she acts like she loves black people. So she's putting on a charade. When she did that video, that was who she really is. That's her heart speaking. That's who this woman is. Anything after that is fake. Anything after that is just a charade. The only reason why she feels sorry is because her video received so much attention and because she is being condemned by a lot of people, because she is kicked out of her university and because she's kicked out of her sorority. That's the only reason why she feels sorry. She don't feel sorry about anything that she had to say, and I'm sure she's using the N word as I speak right now. I'm sure of it. And there are a couple of things that I want to point out about this. One thing is this. Often people project this idea that these millennials are somehow more tolerant and more understanding than their parents and their grandparents and their great grandparents. But unfortunately, we see that these young people are just as racist, just as ignorant, just as narrow minded as their parents and their grandparents and their great grandparents. We see that this society is nowhere near becoming a post-racial society, despite the fact that you had some white people decide to vote for President Obama. So that's important. I mean, and this matters because this is someone who will probably go on to be somebody's supervisor, somebody's boss, somebody in a position of authority and power, harboring these kind of views. And this is just one person that just got exposed. I mean, we know that a lot of these people, despite their public appearances, but despite all their airs and their pretension, a lot of these people are just as racist as this girl, as this young woman, just as racist. They pretend like they love black people, just like she said. She pretends like she loves black people, but she fucking hates niggers. And that's how these people are. That's how a lot of these people are. And another thing that I have to address about this whole issue, I'm glad that this has gone viral in a sense because it creates a discussion about racism in society. But it's a shame that things like this receive more attention in social media than actual policies that affect people's lives. I mean, here you have some racist little kid, she's not a kid, she's a young adult or whatever, but some racist girl making some racist statement. In the big scheme of things, her statements are important because they reflect societal values. The fact that she was surrounded by these people, none of them discouraged her from making those statements. As was pointed out on the Young Turks video, that makes it important. That's the thing that makes it significant. But on a more important level, what she said is not as significant as public policy. And public policy does not receive this kind of attention that the statements of this individual girl have received. When we talk about the policies of this Trump administration's many policies that are detrimental to black people, those things don't get as much attention as this racist rant. And I'm about to do a video about how one of Trump's officials was forced to resign because of his racism. That is more significant than this teenager, well, this college kid making these racist statements. And it just troubles me that doesn't receive the same level of attention as this racist rant. This racist rant is important. It deserves attention. But there are other things that deserve as much attention or even more attention that are not being addressed and discussed. And I plan to do a video right after this to talk about one of these people that was forced to resign from the Trump administration for their racist statements. And, that's significant because these are people that actually will power. So I'm going to do that in a few minutes. So look out for that video. But this whole situation is sickening, is troubling. And as I was listening to the Young Turks, they felt kind of sympathetic towards this girl because they said, well, she's not a girl. I got to quit calling her a girl. She is a young woman. She's in college. I think she's 19. So at that point, she is, for all intents and purposes, a woman. They're trying to basically be sympathetic toward her, saying that she's young and this and that. And basically, they kind of feel sorry for her. Well, I don't feel sorry for her at all. I'm glad she got kicked out of her university. I'm glad she got kicked out of her sorority. And that brings me to another point about that sorority. I mean, the sorority is trying to take this position, against racism. They kicked her out and all this and that. And, they're speaking out against racism by expelling her. But this is the same sorority that did an ad that basically featured all white girls, a virtually all white sorority. I would be surprised if they had a single minority member in that sorority, because in that ad, they didn't feature any black women, any Latino women, any Asian women. It was virtually all white. While they, are condemning this girl's racism, they're not looking at their own racism. So, that's what I have to say about that. So tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.